Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, Godfrey.
What's up, everybody? This is In Godfrey We Trust. Another beautiful episode of In Godfrey We Trust. You know what I'm saying? I'm your host, man. You know what? And guys, check it out. I always say this, and I'll say this over and over. I do not take my podcast for granted. I really do appreciate you guys subscribing to my podcast, In Godfrey We Trust, on Gas Digital. That means a lot to me. And I love it because I'm in the streets nowadays and people will say, man, I was just listening to your podcast. You guys don't understand how much that means to me. You know what I mean? I'm closing in on my 300th episode, by the way, closing in on that. And that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about consistency. It's all about consistency. It's all about, you know, sometimes there's times, I ain't gonna lie, we all hit a wall. We go, gosh. You know, you get exhausted. Like, what else can we talk about? But that's just how it is. I mean, there's TV shows that have been on forever, and you know, you just got to still be passionate about what you're doing. I'm passionate about this podcast because it's just freedom to talk shit with my friends, freedom to express myself, and you rarely get that. You know what I mean? I'm never tired of talking shit. Okay, and this podcast gives me that ability to do that. So I appreciate you guys, and do me this favor, you know, go to YouTube and press that subscribe button for In Godfrey We Trust. That's very important. I'm not really sure what we're at. We're 120,000 subscribers.
We're at 121.
121. You see what I'm saying?
Slow and steady. We're doing it.
It's a steady roll. The train it's a slow choo-choo train, but we're going. We're not being derailed, but we're at 121,000 subscribers. So that says a lot. I mean, the numbers keep going up. I would love to hit the 200,000 subscriber mark. Let's do that. Keep pressing that subscribe button. Spread the word. All right. Very important that you spread the word out there to let them know about In Godfrey We Trust, because I think that we're on all platforms. I got to remember to say that. We're on all platforms. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. So you can listen to it while you're working out. You can listen to me yap in your stupid ears. All right. And also leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Leave a review and let me know. And I got to read some of the reviews. When I come back into the studio, we're going to read some of the reviews when I get back this week. We're going to read some of the reviews because that stuff is important. And if you have suggestions, you know, hey, man, why don't you try to talk about this and talk about that? I'll try. If we can do it, we can. If we can't, we'll go, fuck you. Don't you ever leave one of those damn suggestions with me ever again. You understand where I'm coming from? But yeah, we appreciate it. And also the podcastmerch.com. It's really great because I've seen people in the audience that have gone to the merchandise website and you've bought some merch. Podcastmerch.com. We have like t-shirts, hats, tank tops, sweatshirts, and from extra small to XXX. And be part of the family and buy you some merch from podcastmerch.com. Be part of this podcast, you know what I mean? And like always, I always like to have people, sometimes you're going to see me talking on my own, just yapping with my producer, Mike. We'll just talk back and forth. But today I have, and it's Black History Month, by the way, so I decided to wear my Stan Lee t-shirt. So it's Black History Month, so I'm wearing Stan Lee t-shirt, because here's the thing. This is almost like a Black History moment, but by a white man. Stan Lee created Black Panther in 1966. That's really, really significant because in the 60s, you know, it was heavy, man. During the 60s, you're talking about civil rights movement and shit like that. 1966, when there's such a racial divide. I mean, there's still a racial divide, but back then, you know, the Civil Rights Act was just being signed, protesting, and this before Martin Luther King was The Kennedy was assassinated. There was so much shit going on in the 60s. And for a man who was an animator and an artist to be able to come up with the Black Panther, like Black Panther, that's crazy. Like, I'm going to make a superhero who's an African king. Like, that is heavy. It's not even African American. He said, I'm going to go to Africa and make a superhero that's African and dignified. That, to me, speaks volumes of how Stan Lee was and what kind of man he was. He was always about the underdog. He was always about, people who were left out, like the X-Men. The X-Men, and if you guys don't know, the X-Men was based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King philosophy, like Magneto and Professor X. It was like Magneto was Malcolm X and Professor X was Martin Luther King. That's all facts, And if you look at the X-Men, anybody that's been ostracized, is you can relate to the X-Men because they were kind of ostracized, treated like they were different, but they had all these great superpowers trying to move society. So I want to give a Black History moment to Stan Lee. Stan Lee, Stan Lee. And he was a Romanian Jew, by the way, a Romanian Jewish man who grew up in the Bronx, by the way. So just to let you know, that whole Jewish Black connection, that shit is heavy and that shit is deep. And we're going to talk about that when I bring my buddy up on this bitch. I always like to, and I have some of my friends come on here and we got this, and I actually bring up this guy in some of my jokes, Yes, whenever I want to bring up a white guy in my jokes, I use this man named Chad. And that's his real name. Chad Zumock, ladies and gentlemen. Chad Zumock is on the show today. Chad motherfucking Zumock. Is he here? I think he's here.
Yeah. First time caller.
Oh!
Long time listener. First time caller, long time listener. I mean, we got to celebrate. Chad? We're celebrating Black History Month, and you had a white guy on.
I have a white guy on. I wanted to start it off correctly. I wanted to talk about white guilt and all the pain that you guys have caused. So I decided to bring you on.
I want to tell all your listeners, I want to tell you right now, I'm one of the good ones.
You listen, I'm going to be honest. Chad really is one of the good, not, how you have some white people will say, I'm one of the good ones, but like Joe Biden will say, you're not Black if you don't vote for me, folks. He's corny. Chad is really one of the, listen, you guys know me. I don't play that shit with that phony shit. Chad is actually, he's one of the good white guys.
Tell him my backstory, Godfrey, because you always laugh at it.
First of all, let's tell them where you're from originally, man.
Well, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I grew up in that area, and I lived in LA, and now I live in Florida.
Why do you live in Florida, sir?
Because when COVID happened, like nothing was open, and LA's whack, and I was like, I'm out. Peace. Right. I was moving to New York. I was coming to New York, and it just didn't work out.
You were coming to New York, and then you're like, fuck that. You said, you know what? And it's cheaper living over there, right?
100%. And it's just open, with everything going on right now.
Nobody cares. The mask thing is out the window. So you like that freedom. And the I don't know. Were they heavy on the vaccination in Florida? Are they heavy on being vaccinated?
No. And I full disclosure, I'm not. And I've had COVID twice. It's cool. It's all right. You're going to be fine. Trust me. If you're old or you're out of shape, go get the vaccine. I'm all about it, but I'm good.
So so when you first caught it, was it how did you feel when you first caught it? How did you find out you had it?
I got tested. I went and got tested just out of curiosity because I felt weird. It was a weird feeling. Your body aches. I had cold sweats at night.
And it's warm over there.
It's warm as shit.
And you were cold, you had body, and you were like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah, so I got the test and I got tested positive. And I've had it twice, and I had the antibodies, and I had the real COVID, like the OG COVID, like back.
You had OG COVID.
Yeah. So, and it was 24 hours. I didn't feel good, but I've had flus that were worse. I don't want to, because I know they censor a lot of people right now talking about openly and honestly right now, because you're not allowed to have a difference of opinion if it's not the narrative. So I don't want to go down this road and get your video flagged on your YouTube channel. You got 121,000, listeners. I don't want to screw that up.
Right. I mean, I'm just, I don't think that it's not like you're putting down. You just said, if you have to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. You just haven't gotten vaccinated. I mean, I don't think you're fucking their agenda up by saying that.
But YouTube will demonetize you if you talk about this honestly. They'll they'll demonetize. Like Tim Dillon, who's a comedian friend of ours, he says all kinds of stuff, and they're like taking away his money. So
are they taking away his money on Patreon though?
No, not on Patreon. On YouTube.
I saw his money. It went up. This motherfucker's making 200,000 a month.
Yeah, no joke. That's just Patreon. That's not even including his stand-up.
Good Lord.
Yeah, good for him.
This is all on his own steam. He don't need nobody. He don't need. But God damn, Tim Dillon's funny. I love Tim Dillon. He's a fucker.
Yeah, he's great.
As comedian, Tim Dillon, man, I really look at him. I go, wow. And I saw his what he makes on Patreon. I go, what? And a lot of guys, I noticed this. White dudes can make a lot of money because no. I'm not even saying it on some racial. I'm saying like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, because there's a lot of white guys that look like those guys. They're not like in shape. They're like kind of look like daddies. You know how much money, how much money there is, how much fucking cash there is with guys that look like the Seguras and the Bert Kreischers. These guys are they have money. Yeah. And there's a lot of men that look like them. Bert Kreischer comes out with his stomach out. Everybody doesn't have a six-pack. There's people are overweight, not that great in shape. They relate to that motherfucker. That's like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, this guy's just like me. He has kids. Boom, boom, boom. He drinks. Dude, that's so much dispensable money.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to look like shit, because I want to make some money.
No. But the fact, too, that America is still mainly majority white, your demographic, you have an advantage. And your demographic, you really do. Like, for a guy like myself, I have fans that Bert Kreischer fans. I have Segura people that like me, but it's not a big overflow. But I have different people that fuck with me. But the way I look, it can go either way, You understand where I'm coming from? I don't know if you know what I mean? And some of my shit that I talk about is polarizing anyway. You know what I mean? I go in sometimes. So sometimes you can be like, oh, that's a little too much. So it's like, I don't have a niche,
But Godfrey, that's a perfect segue for this, because we laugh about it all the time. I've known you for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So I'm a white guy named Chad, right? So you probably think I was
Chad.
And I what do you think? I was in fraternity. I had like rich family.
Yes.
No,
yes.
It's the opposite. I grew up.
If you look at me and you, I went to college.
Your parents were educators.
My parents were educated. My mother's a nurse, father's educator. I have my degree in psychology. Now,
you went to Michelle Obama's high school.
My high school was rival to Michelle Obama's. Lane Tech High School, Chicago represent. Boom. And they would say, well, that sounds like on paper, that would be you.
My dad left me before I was born. We grew up on government cheese and welfare. My mom dated black guys. So my role models were African-American gentlemen. They're the ones who taught me to be a man. So, and I grew up all fucked up, but it was, it was great.
Yeah. And that's why that's what makes you different. Not different because there are white men and white people who have grown up around African Americans who have, like, family wise, have grown up. That's all they know. I met some white people that they grew up around black people, and their mentality, they don't really hang around white folks. You know what I mean? So you're like a different dude. I've never heard Chad say anything like condescending. He's always judges people by who they are. Like, that's, you really are like that. You're just a regular motherfucker. And you don't whisper black. You just go, yeah, black dude, white guy. You just, some white people go, he's black. It's like, It's not a secret, motherfucker. It's not a secret. You know those people that do that, they're afraid to like describe somebody. You've never been like that.
Well, that sets it up for what about. You remember the phone call I had with you the other day about my barber?
Okay, guys, you got to hear this story of now this is proof that Chad is a different kind of guy. Now tell us what happened.
So when I moved here to Florida about a year ago, I tried to find a barber so they can fade my head, right?
And I found
got to get the fade going. So
yeah.
I found this lady, Southern older lady, and I went in there and she did a fantastic job.
You've been with her for how long? How long you been going to her?
I go off and on for maybe a couple months, maybe or so. Like, cause I tried about a different barbers and she did me right. And then like the third time I went in there, I had my bike stolen. And I was telling her a story about my bike getting stolen. And she goes, "Oh yeah, was it one of them N-words?" And I go, no. I was uncomfortable. I go, she like honestly felt like she could just say that in front of me without like I was just gonna go, yeah. I'm like, what? I was like, what the fuck? So I didn't say anything. Yeah. Maybe I'm part of the problem, but I was uncomfortable and I don't like confrontation. Then I come in again, and she was just dropping. I saw this N-word running, and I go, yeah, I'm not that guy. I don't like this. This is not good.
Right.
And so I called you. I go, dude, what do I do in this situation? Because I want to do the right thing. She cuts my hair great, but I'm really uncomfortable. like what do I do? Because I don't like that. I remember one time we were somewhere and you dared me to say you'd pay me. I go, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't doing it because I don't like
it. I paid you to say the word.
No, you said you were gonna give me money if I would say it. I go, I'm not doing it, dude. You're daring me. I was like, it's a trap.
Listen, man.
But what do I do in that situation? Did I do the wrong thing? Should I say
you didn't do the wrong thing? You actually felt bad being around it. That's my thing. Is this?
It was gross.
The first thing that we need for people to have is the feeling. Like you literally were like, I don't like this shit. That's the start we need. That's the start we need. That's like because if it viscerally made like you were sickened by it, that is a good starting point to me. When it's like, I don't like this shit. Because you could be like, yo, I was like, yo, but still feel the same way, but just be doing surface shit just to please me. But you were like, man, I didn't like that shit, you know? And to me, as a human being, you have to have a feel for it's like working out. It's like working out. In order to really get into working out and feeling good about yourself, you have to feel like shit. You got to really go, I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of looking like this. I'm tired of the way I eat. I'm sick of this shit. It has to be here. It has to come here. That is when you begin to, I'm going to take care of myself. Health is really about how you feel about yourself. It's like this thing in your heart where you go, I'm tired of looking like this. That is when you start to improve yourself. Your life, this is an example. You're like, listen, not only putting food in your body to make you feel better, eating right, but also what goes into your brain. I'm being serious as fuck. What you're fed is also important. And like for you to go, man, I don't like what this bitch is sound like this shit, man, is a start. That's why when you call me, he go, I don't like what she's doing, man. I don't like it. I'm not participating in this shit. I just keep quiet. And another thing is, I mean, some people would say something, but you're like, but man, her fades are tight as fuck.
The bitch can cut hair. I mean, but I don't.
It's almost like black people forgiving Paula Deen because like, man, her chicken is really good. I go, no. And black people like, but her chicken is good as shit. I go, dude, there's other people, other white women that can make fucking chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what you're going to do.
The second time she did it, I was just like, I got to find a new barber. I can't go in there.
You'll get, dude, I guarantee you, you go to a black barber shop, they'll fucking cut you just like that. That's real shit. Black people can cut white people's hair. Oh yeah. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take a photo of that fade and tell a black barber, I want it like this, and watch him do it. We actually cut better hair than most white barbers. Black people can cut everybody's hair, which is crazy. It's nothing. I'm telling you, go to a black barbershop and they will do exactly what that lady's doing. And you're going to hear the N-word, but in a different manner.
I'll take your word for it, because you took me my first black tailgate in Texas, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, I took you to a black tailgate. I remember, I didn't know what the tailgate was going to be like. I was just like you. I said, those girls invited us, remember?
Yeah.
They invited us in Dallas to a tailgate because the Dallas Cowboys were playing. And we went. We went to the barbecue, and it was fun. And you were the only black dude there.
Oh, I was a white dude.
I mean, only white dude there. I'm sorry. You were the only
that's how black I am.
but you know what's so fucked up? It's like it's weird because, and this will help us transition into something else about the Joe Rogan. Joe called out. You came in and everybody treats you like normal. It was like, yo, what's up? You want some food? Blah, blah, blah.
No, better than normal. If I didn't have a plate, they're like, where's your plate? Go get a plate. I'm like, okay.
Food, man. And it was fun. And it's so funny when white people, no matter what kind of white person it is, they feel weird sometimes. Other than the whites that are always around black people, they feel weird when they're the only, they always talk about it like, yeah, I was like the only white person there. I go, do you know how we feel every day in America? Like I'm like, a lot of times I'm the only black person around all the time.
But here's the thing. They were treating me like I was special. They were like they're going out of their way to be accommodating to me. I was like, this is better.
You know why? Because they don't want you to think that we're not mean people. We don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm the only white guy. That's why we give you super love, because we go, dude, it's all good.
Or maybe they don't want me to feel what they feel when they're around white people.
Right.
Times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because sometimes when you're the only black person, there's a way you have to behave sometimes. You're like you're very aware. Okay, you go, okay, I don't know how they're going to treat me here. Are they going to treat me like shit? Are they going to, let's say I walk into a cafe and I want to get a lot. I mean, I'm like, are they going to treat me like shit? Are they going to not wait on me? This goes on in your head like all the time. Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes when you walk in and go, hey, how you doing? You're like, oh, great. But you really are conscious about it. When you open that door, you go, are the people going to stare at me? Are there going to be other black people in the room? There's so many dynamics that go on in our heads constantly. Like, you don't know. Okay, it's a white girl. Okay, how's she going to treat me? Okay, there's a white guy. How's he going to treat me? Or it's like it's like chess. We're constantly making moves, thinking ahead. Okay, if I do that, so we that's how we feel. So when a white person comes to a black event or whatever, we want to make sure you go, hey man, we're not going to do what you do to us. That's not what we do. Yeah. And you already have preconception like, oh, it's black people because of what people have been taught about us, lies, saying black people are this, but it's usually we're in more danger when we're in all white areas.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
I will admit, though, the one time I was scared is when I went to see Michael Jackson's house in Gary, Indiana. I was terrified.
Well, that's scary.
It was fucking terrifying. There. I was like,
dude, it's scary. Fuck you mean? When I shot Original Gangsters.
Oh, yeah, that movie was shot there, right?
I was terrified. Fuck you mean? Here's the thing.
And you were with Jim Brown.
Yes. Well, it was cool because Jim Brown was on the set, so we were safe, Jim Brown. But people act like black people aren't terrified of other neighborhoods. We're terrified. Because even black people be like, yo, don't go over there. Don't go over there. Black people are also, listen, there is a population of black people that are not in the hood. They don't live in the hood. They don't want to be in the hood. And there's black people that live in the hood who are wonderful people, who are amazing, because the hood is not filled with just every block is just thugs. That's bullshit. The good people in the hood outnumber the thugs. It's just that the thugs do such heinous shit. They fuck the neighborhood up. And that's what sucks. But there's so many wonderful people that live in the hood, that live in underprivileged areas that are fantastic. That is all facts. There are a lot of smart people that come out of the hood that are that want to learn, that are good natured, that are spiritual. So much of that shit comes out of the hood, you know?
Did you see the Williams sister movie with Will Smith?
I haven't seen it yet.
No, it's good. I'm telling you, it's really good. But that's
okay.
They grew up in Compton, right? And they're playing tennis,
right?
And you know, they're good people. They're hardworking and they're they're smart. Right. But there was a few bad elements. That was like they were beating the shit out of Serena Williams' dad all the time, and he was just trying to help his daughter. So I'm trying to piggyback on what you're saying.
No, right. Oprah Winfrey's from the hood. A lot of people are from like the hood, and there's a lot of whites that came from like trailer homes and shit. You got Eminem from the he's from the dirt. A lot of people came from the mud. A lot of people. There are more poor whites than there are blacks. Way more, but they make it look like poverty is just a black thing. When white people live in straight dirt and sewage and trailer homes and filth and just like black folks, but we're 14%. How are we all of the poor?
Yeah. Well, in the 4th, 5th, 6th grade, we were in Section 8 housing, me and my mom.
You see what I'm saying? You
see
what I'm saying? Guys, are you listening to Chad? What were you in?
Section 8 housing.
I've never been in Section 8 housing, but I've never lived. My parents weren't rich, but they were blue collar, hardworking blue collar. We got pretty much what we wanted. We did camping, we did activities, but because it was the school thing. But I went to the Boys Club. I'm a product of the Boys Club of America, me and my brother. Because it was summertime, you could go play baseball. I learned how to play pool, ping pong. We swam when we were tiny. We were swimmers. My parents were activities parents. We had to, as soon as summer hit, my mother was like, okay, Little League starts at this time, blah, blah, blah. Your sister got piano lessons, da, 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 da. My parents busted their asses for us to be decent children. Seriously.
Let me ask you something. You said you and your brother would swim. Is that stereotype true or is that fake?
It's fake, but here it is. Here it is, though, Brad.
Brad, I've known you for 15 years.
I was saying bro, but I added your name, Brad. Another white guy name. Fuck it. Listen, Bradley. What if your real name was Chadley? That'd be fucking hilarious.
People
Chadley Jr.
They call me Chadley, and I'm like, don't stop. Don't go there.
And Chad, by the way, is an African country, by the way, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You should rock that flag.
I had the flag. Where's the flag? I have it somewhere.
You had a Chad flag. Listen. So what was I going to say? I just lost my thought. No.
No, you're okay. Let's double check. You were basically saying how your parents, swimming and stereotypes.
Swimming. Okay. Here's the stereotype. Black people can't swim. And they say that the history of that comes from Black people not being afraid to swim was from the slave trade, where the Africans, if they escaped and tried to swim away, they would be murdered and shit like that. So that fear was installed in Black people coming to America. This is what I heard. I'm not sure, but someone told me that it was the fear of us leaving slavery and trying to swim off the ship. They scared Black people the slaves into not swimming and leaving the boat. So it's true. I know some Black people that cannot swim. Okay. I know some Black people that cannot swim. And I know lots of Black people that can swim because I know a lot of my Black friends who are lifeguards. I know my friends that are lifeguards that are Black. And are you all right?
No, I'm looking up Black competitive swimmers.
Yeah, there's Black competitive swimmers. There's that girl, Simone, whatever, who won a gold. They're Black competitive swimmers. There's a lot of Black people swimming. They're just not going to advertise it.
Simone Manuel.
She kicked ass in the Olympics. Yes, she did. Simone Manuel kicked ass in the Olympics. That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Who else?
Cullen Jones became he was the first black male swimmer to hold the world record in swimming in 2008.
Okay. Yeah. You see, they're not going to say any of this, but this is Black History Month. You're contributing. Thanks, Chad. What else we got? What else? You got any more black swimmers?
I'm digging.
Yeah, gotta dig. That's how we got to do to get the real fact. Gotta dig.
You keep bringing up Cullen Jones and the girl.
Get past the white men. Get past white people. Get past. You
There's
can
a lot of
find
scrolling. There's a lot of scrolling going on.
You get a lot of scrolling. What else? What else we got?
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. Oh man. See what the white man does? Even Black History Month, we can't find no black swimmers. Isn't that a shame? Oh my God. We're all black swimmers. You can do it, Chad. Come on, find it, baby. See how we feel? Now you see how we feel, right? When we're trying to find it. You see how we feel?
They took you out of the algorithm.
They took me out of that. Look up blacks in water. But yo, fuck it. You tried. But look it up. You see what America does? You see how they just keep hiding shit?
They just bury it.
But my brother, my sister, we were swimming at 5, 6 years old. We were swimming. We were deep enders. We were swimming in 9 feet of water. We were doing all of that shit. We were swimming all the way. You know what we used to do? We used to go underwater in one breath and go from end to end in the swimming pool. We used to do that as kids. And we would, and the thing I loved about being in Chicago, all my friends, if you couldn't swim, we fucking made fun of you. See, bullying in that way was good because it made you step your shit up. We'd be like, yo, you can't do the freestyle? You can't float? You fucking whack. Wait a minute, you can't swim underwater? We would laugh at you because we would challenge each other. Like, even in homework, if we were like, yo, what do you get on your homework? I got a 95. I got 100. Bitch, I beat you. You know what I mean? We bullied each other and made fun of each other in a positive way where we were more competitive and improved ourselves. You understand? But a lot of black people I know cannot. There's some black people I know that can't swim. And I go, how come you can't swim? And you're always at a pool party. I don't understand.
That's a funny premise.
You're always at a pool party. You're always swimming, dancing right next to the swimming pool. I don't understand. Because anytime somebody's at a pool party, they feel like it's a prestigious thing. I go, you can't fucking swim. My thing is this. Everybody should know how to swim. You should know how to drive, swim, and read. Because there's a lot of words, a lot of water, and a lot of road. And you should look at, my father was like,
that's deep.
You have, no pun intended. My thing is this. You have to look at swimming as a necessity. Don't look at it as fun, as recreational. Look at it as a necessity more than recreational. You understand? It's like, look at exercise as a necessity more than recreational. You know what I mean? Because these are things that are going to save your life. Just like driving. You should be able to drive. Even if you don't have a car, learn how to fucking drive, because somebody could be dying of a heart attack, having a health problem, and you're the only one with the car. They have a car and you're the only one that's around them, and you can't drive a goddamn car. You have to learn those things. That's how my father got us to do all that shit.
Oh, Godfrey, I just looked up. There's a movie in 2007 called Pride.
With Aaron Howard.
And your boy Bernie Mac was in it.
Bernie Mac was in it.
Yeah, it's about a black swimmer who becomes a coach. And
Bill Burr talks about that shit. He's like, I'm done with these kind of movies because there's always the white guy. Have you seen the one about Pride? It's about these black swimmers. And they always got the white guy going, hey, get out of my swimming pool. You don't belong here. There's always that antagonist. Hey, man, we don't want your guy in our swimming pool. Get out of our swimming pool. But yeah.
I think you're at the wrong fountain.
Ooh, I guess that water must taste good to you people. Yeah, man. Hey, you think it tastes like Kool-Aid, guys?
What are you sitting in the front of the bus for?
Hey, brown boy, to the back.
Dude, racism's so dumb.
It is. Racism is dumb, but it was a smart method to keep people under control. Because even Italians, you're part Italian, right?
Half Italian.
Italians were not white for a while. When they first got to America, Italians were dark, like they looked like they were from India. There's a really good documentary on PBS called Italian Americans, which is fantastic. And the Italians were not, they were dark. They weren't white because they're more Mediterranean, because Italy is not that far from Africa. And they were like treated like shit, and then they were categorized as white. And that's when the Italians turned on us and called us eggplants. Go ahead.
Wasn't there that whole speech in True Romance about that?
Yes. When Dennis Hopper was talking to Christopher Walken,
he
says, "You're Sicilian, so that means you're half N-word. You're half an N-word." And then Christopher Walken kills him and goes, I don't like when you talk like that. That's very insulting. In fact, I have to kill you because I don't like the N-word. And that's not a bad Christopher Walken.
Off the top, not bad.
Not bad, right? And I don't really do Christopher Walken, but I go, I understand that about my history. In fact, I am Sicilian, but you decided to bring a very, very disgraceful description of what I am. And obviously, on the exterior, I'm not Black, but you.
Yeah. But it's no Steve Harvey.
No. But you know what? I don't exaggerate it. The reason why I was able to kind of get in the parameter of his voice was because he's from New York.
Yeah.
And so I talk like this, like a New Yorker. In fact, so I don't go too crazy. Because some people are like, a man comes into, no, I go, what you said is very deep. And I have to admit, give you some credit. Didn't like what you said. It's not bad.
It's not bad. I'll give you that.
You got to give me some rock. I don't do Christopher Walken.
If you worked on it, you can nail it. No, I'm being honest. Like, it's
I
good.
Just did it off the cuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, off the top, good.
I'm in the realm. When I'm in the realm, then I can work on it.
Yeah,
because
you can craft it.
Steve Harvey, I didn't even think it was that. It was okay when I first did it, but then I started to watch him more. And then I was like, got little nuances. And you know what I'm saying? If you're in there, it's like you're tuning an instrument. You're almost there and you go, okay, now I just need to tweak that, bang.
What was the first one? Arnold of yours? Impressions?
It was Muhammad Ali.
Really?
When I was little, Ali was the first when I was really imitating somebody. I just loved Ali so much. And I'd be like, Joe Frazier, I'm the fast, I'm great. Joe Frazier got lucky. I'm the best, I'm the greatest. Joe Frazier, he's a sellout. He's not a real black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told me as a Muslim that I am the greatest. I told Joe Frazier, you a sellout. Nobody wants you. I'm trying to fight for my people. I just want to be free. They want me to go to Vietnam, but ain't no Vietnamese call me nigga. I told you. Yeah. So I was that guy. And yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever Eddie Murphy do with Larry Holmes? It's the funniest thing ever. Yeah. And he was doing endorsements for Larry Holmes.
Yeah, that was Hi, I'm Larry Holmes. That was so funny. Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys who work on their own cars. I want to tell you about RockAuto.com, the online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts. RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices. No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't really sure what you're looking for, never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle, will still charge you storefront markups. At RockAuto.com, you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at RockAuto.com. So if you're a car guy, right now, go to RockAuto.com and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts. So once more, go to RockAuto.com. No promo needed as their pricing is already that good. When you order, make sure you tell RockAuto.com that you heard about them on In Godfrey We Trust on the Gas Digital Network. RockAuto.com. Let's get back into it. Yo, I wanted to go into this whole Rogan situation. Well, first, let's do the Flores, this Ron Flores. Right? Is it Ron Flores?
Brian Flores, former Miami Dolphins coach.
Miami Dolphins coach. They say he's being blackballed right now. Blackballed because he's suing the NFL because he's like, what are you pressing? You look like
I'm being like a producer too. I'm Googling. I'm doing stuff. I'm
Buffy. What are you?
I'm a research staff. I'm the research.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh shit. Here it is. Former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores sues NFL. 3 teams alleging racist hiring practices. Well, a lot of times when people are calling out racism, it's usually the truth. I mean, that's you know, Black people who are not white are aware when racism is going on. And sometimes some white folks will literally act like they don't know what the fuck we talking about. And it's the truth because a lot of shit hasn't changed and you already know the system. And then when you see certain things that are happening that are textbook racist shit, you call them out and they act like you crazy and they try to deflect. He's probably right because out of the 32 teams, I think there's only one Black coach. Is that true? Tomlin?
Yeah, but I also have a counterpoint to this.
What's that?
Listen, he came up through Bill Belichick's system. Bill
Right.
Belichick helped facilitate him to get this Dolphins job, made him $25 million, and he wanted the Giants job. He didn't get it. And essentially, Bill Belichick sent him a text saying, congratulations on the,
Duran.
Yeah. But he was going to the guy who got it because he had heard they picked the guy already.
Oh, he sent the wrong text to him.
Yeah. So he put that text into his lawsuit, which threw Bill Belichick under the bus. Like Bill Belichick helped facilitate and get this guy a head coaching position before he was 40. So I don't know, I don't know about that. I don't know because the NFL has made more Black millionaires than any other profession.
What? Wait, say it again.
The NFL has made more Black millionaires than any other profession.
Now that is a good thing to say, but most of the guys are on the field that are making this money.
I see what you're saying.
They're the workhorses. And the problem is we don't own NFL teams. And there's this, you look at the dynamic of Kaepernick and how they treated Kaepernick. Didn't forgive him for all he was doing was protesting Black people being killed in the streets, police brutality. He took a knee, which was suggested by a white soldier, told him to take a knee. Because Kaepernick wanted to protest, but he got advice from this white soldier who said, why don't you just take a knee and just do it in silence? And he took that advice. And the NFL still said, nah, fuck him. After taking the advice from a white soldier, you understand? And he was just protesting Black people being murdered in the street. He wasn't shitting on the NFL. He wasn't disrespecting the armed forces. He wasn't doing that. He was like, my people are getting killed in the streets. And the same people that play in the NFL are the same Black people that are in the streets that are regular people because they're related to a lot of these football players. You know, what the one thing that some white folks need to understand is to not compartmentalize Black people. We're like the same race. The people that work at the grocery store, the mailman, the people that work at the airline, the people that work in garbage, the garbage men, the teachers, they're also the same race as the NFL players. You understand? You can't separate that shit. That's not fair. You know, you're cool with an athlete and then you shit on the janitor or you shit on the Black engineer. Fuck that. That's the problem with a lot of white people. They see an athlete and go, oh, yay, LeBron. And then you're calling an N-word to a person that working at Starbucks. Fuck that. We are the same folks, man. We're not a monolith, but we're from the same race. We're from the same cloth. You understand? You can't separate that. You got to treat the person that works at Starbucks just as well as you treat LeBron James or Stephen Curry or or fucking Cam Newton. You know what I mean? And then they start shitting on the athletes when the athletes try to do something humane. Like, hey, man, I want to take a knee down because I want everybody to recognize the pain that my people are suffering. And Kaepernick was adopted by a white family, but Kaepernick knew he was different, you know? And so that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, what the fuck? What are you looking up?
I'm Googling Colin Kaepernick.
Okay. And it's the truth, though. It's like, we have more black millionaires, but we don't have any power, bro. And the thing is, look at the quarterback. Tom Brady finally retired, right? Tom Brady's finally retired. I'm glad Tom Brady's retired. I'm tired of them cheating for that motherfucker. I am sick of that dude. Listen, I saw his documentary, which was fantastic. I saw his documentary.
What is it? I want to watch it.
It's really good. He was recruited at 199.
Oh yeah, out of Michigan. Yeah, he was
clumsy, couldn't run, blah blah blah. Belichick took him under and created a fucking monster, which was fantastic. I like his documentary. I actually felt for him because I hate the Patriots. I don't like Tom Brady, but his story. One thing I love about athletes is their tenacity, and it's called Man in the Arena. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's called Man in the Arena, and I really, really love stories of people who accomplish and come from struggle. I give Tom Brady that props for real. As an athlete, I love those kind of stories. But then, of course, he's winning all these Super Bowls, taking Drew Bledsoe's place, the way he took Drew Bledsoe's place and just became this amazing quarterback. They started cheating for him because he became the company man. They made it to where Tom Brady can't be touched. He can't be tackled. In this last playoff game, he had his first foul. He had his first call, his penalty in 22 seasons. They've been protecting this guy. And that's what made me angry was and thank God Eli Manning got past him twice, beat him twice on damn near the same play. That's the one thing Eli Manning go, I beat you twice, motherfucker, fair and square. But just by the skin of their teeth. But they always, even in this last playoff game, when they were playing the Rams, was it the Rams? Yeah, Brady was losing. And then the officials started they were just manipulating the game where they got Tom Brady to catch up. And I'm sick of this shit. And I really believe that they know that the quarterback position is being filled by a lot of black men. And you remember, I went to Illinois where they did not want black quarterbacks. They used to convert all the black dudes that were quarterbacks into defensive guys. That is what the fuck they did.
Well, the NFL is a copycat league. They just copy. That's why there were so many white quarterbacks, because it's a copy system.
Right. And it was also, they didn't want black people being quarterbacks. That's facts.
Also, I have a black fact on Black History Month.
Black fact. Go ahead.
There are 7 black billionaires in the United States. 7.
How many white ones?
724.
You see the ratio? You see the gap?
I'm just saying. Oh, well, I mean, that's probably
Wait a
why.
minute. Wait, let's say it again. How many black billionaires?
7.
How many white ones?
724.
See,
and 2 of them are Oprah and Kanye.
Think about this. According to Forbes 2021 World's Billionaire List, there are 724 billionaires in America, yet only 7 of them are black. That is fucked up. That's just enough to seat at one dining table, since black billionaires only make up less than 1% of the nation's billionaire. That is pathetic, fucked up, and it was done on purpose. Because there's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Color of Law. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's called. It's fantastic. It's written by a Jewish man, a white Jewish man. So you should read it. It's not by Hakeem Hassan Shabazz Jr. It's by a white Jewish man. Okay. So I love it when people from other races are hip to shit. I love it. See, there are people that are not black that are actually spitting real knowledge. So want me to get the book for you? Watch this. I'm stepping
the book.
I'm gonna get the book.
He'll cut the book.
He'll cut the part. All right.
I'm just going to go ahead and plug my
I'm gonna do
Patreon.
it again. There's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Color of Law. I know it's backwards, but this is such a fucking fantastic book. I've finished the first chapter, and it talks about a forgotten history of how our government segregated America. So it was government policy to keep Black people from owning homes, from owning land. They still do it. It's called redlining. And they purposely kept Black people in ghettos. It was always strategically done. You kept Black neighborhoods by railroads and shit like that, blocked them off from highways, all purposely done. Purposely done. That's why there are 724 billionaires and 7 Black billionaires out of the 7. And you know what's so funny? When you said billionaires, you stopped at 7 with us and you kept going at 7 for the white guys. You said 7 Black billionaires, 724. But that's just telling that number is so far away and so distant because of the racist shit and the practices that go on. That shit is real.
When Godfrey's in his 80s, he's going to be like Grady from Sanford and Son and Boys in the Hood. He's just going to be talking and telling people, and Furious Styles. You're going to be like Furious Styles.
I'll be like, see, I told you. It's the truth, though. You know, that's why when you can
You're
watch
the Furious Styles of our generation.
Yes. And that's the thing, when you can watch Furious Styles. That's what I'm going to call myself, Furious Styles. That's the thing, is that when you watch all these Black movies, nothing has changed. It's kind of sad. The only thing that's changed is maybe the HD and the look of the movie, but the dynamic hasn't changed. You know.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
And be honest. Did you cry when Ricky died?
No.
I did.
Really?
I cried.
I cried when Ice Cube walked away, when Cuba said, "You know what? You still got one brother left, man."
Oh yeah, that was a good one. And
then when Ice Cube walked away,
it disappears.
Doughboy was killed. I was like, my baby. That was the era in the 90s. It was always like, oh, my baby got killed.
I cried when he got accepted to USC too. And she got the letter.
Oh, that was. I was like, he got accepted to USC, man. Yeah, man. But Flores, I don't know what's going to happen to him. They say he's being blackballed, but I think that it's pretty fucked up that there's only like one Black head coach in all of football when it's almost 80% Black players. So it looks like a slave master slave shit relationship. You know, all the owners are white, and it's still that dynamic. Like, you guys do all the work, we make all the money. They sit in their little press boxes watching their little Negroes make money for them. And there are white athletes on there too. There are white athletes on this fucking field too, busting their ass too.
It does look pretty, it looks bad. Like, as it does, but
it's like they're watching Black people pick cotton, and they're just like, look at that. Yeah, that's real good, man. Look at them pick that cotton. We're making money, baby. High five.
Keep your eye on number 47 over there.
Yeah. Number 47, good strong back. The way he runs, nice thighs. Love that. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that scene in Django Unchained with Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. But it's all facts. So I don't know what's going to happen with this Flores guy. I hope that things work out for him. But I think that it at least starts a conversation and listen, if you're a good coach, but even McCarthy's garbage, and that fucker gets a job.
Yeah.
And he's on Dallas. He's getting money. A lot of white dudes. There's a lot of white guys that ain't shit as coaches, and they still work. And you know, they go into management in the office, and they're horrible, and they still get hired.
And I'm only asking this because I'm ignorant. How many people are pursuing these positions? How many African Americans are pursuing? I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'm sure it's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you say, well, how many Black writers are in Hollywood? Hundreds of them. They're just not getting hired. There's a lot of Black people writing and trying to get in. They're just blocking the shit off. That's facts. I'm sure there are Black coaches. There's plenty of coaches, Black dudes that are like going for head coach, but they make it so impossible that maybe some of them give up and go, fuck that. They're gonna run me through the ringer. And I think it's cool that he's doing that. Fuck it. He's like Kurt Flood. Remember Kurt Flood?
Yeah.
Kurt Flood started free agency. The black athlete for the Cardinals, like, I believe we should be able to go to another fucking team, and we should be able to have an open contract.
So he's the pioneer of free agency.
You damn right, Kurt Flood. This is another Black History Month. You see the documentary, Kurt Flood, who was able to start free agency, another black man sacrificing his ass. And that's why you have free agency, because of Kurt Flood.
You think like when he got older, he was drinking? I started free agency, bitches. I'm the one.
Let me tell you why he was able to leave that team. Right here. Kurt Flood. So
he played for the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, he played for the Cardinals, and his documentary is fantastic too.
All right.
You got to watch it. It's really good. And I want to move on. Well, good luck. I hope that it causes I hope they start hiring, because Mike Tomlin is dope. You know.
By the way, and I'm being honest,
coaches, but you got to spread it out.
Mike Tomlin's probably one of the coolest looking black guys I've ever seen in my entire life.
He's fucking amazing. He looks like Omar Epps, kind of.
Cool as fuck.
Yo, and I love, one time, this is when I really love Mike Tomlin. I've always liked the Steelers just in general. And when Mike Tomlin, they had just won a playoff game. They just won. And
you pull up a photo of Mike Tomlin? Yeah. Look at this dude. Cool as fuck.
He's the baddest dude.
Especially when he has his sunglasses on.
And I love Mike Tomlin. That's how much I like the Steelers, because of Tomlin. And Tomlin, he comes into the locker room, to the press room, right? He comes into the press room, and he goes, he's breathing hard. He goes, well, you know, we didn't say that wins were easy, and this wasn't an easy win. It was an ugly win. But next week, we bring in hell. I was like, yeah. That's what made me love Mike Tomlin. His press conference shit was just like, hey, he's like, it wasn't a good win, but next week we gonna prepare and we bring in hell. And that was it was fantastic. I was like, I think everybody, it's like Andy Reid. Everybody loves Andy Reid. We love Andy Reid, just the way he composes himself, the way he treats, the way he carries himself. I'm an Andy Reid fan. I'm always rooting for Andy Reid. I just like the guy. I like Tomlin. I'm always rooting for Tomlin. You know what I mean?
Why I don't like Mike Tomlin? Because I'm a Browns fan, bitch.
Okay.
That's a rivalry.
Right. I know. You guys lose. Okay. I'm a Bears fan. I fucking, fuck you. So we're both teams that suffer with our quarterbacks and shit like that. We get a 5-6 lead. Our record. We're like, we have champs. So the Joe Rogan situation, this last thing, the Joe Rogan situation, now they're bringing out shit about Joe Rogan. And I already saw that, where he talks about, there's that footage where he's talking about he was in some situation where he was the only only white guy, and they came into the Planet of the Apes. It was like Planet of the Apes or some shit. Like he was in this place, and we were the only white guys. We landed in the Planet of the Apes.
But Rogan said that?
Yeah, Joe Rogan. It's recorded. I saw it.
What?
He's talking about black people, describing it as Planet of the Apes. This is a while ago.
Oh, yeah. You know why? Because he has the biggest platform in the world, so they're trying to get it taken down.
I think they're digging up stuff on him because the vaccination thing, because he was adamant about not. They've been pissed at him because he has such a huge platform. But they already brought that out. I knew he did that a while ago. You know what I mean? I know he said that a while ago. I don't know if he addressed it, but it's been a while. So I don't know if they're trying to push something on him. I don't know, but I hope he addresses it properly, because the guy's from Boston. I'm not surprised that he said that. I don't get surprised when white dudes have a history of N-words and this. I don't get surprised anymore. But what are you doing to improve that? You have the clip. Let's show the clip. Watch the clip.
Let's go to the tape.
Let's go to the tape.
Hey, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out. and we're giggling. Oh, we're gonna go see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people. There was no white people. Planet of the Apes didn't take place in Africa. That was a racist thing for me to say. But you see what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
automatically stuck to your head.
Yeah, what happened is we walked into the blackest neighborhood we could find. I mean, there was literally no white people. It was amazing, and everybody was super cool. You know, it wasn't a negative experience. And this is something I wrote on Twitter, that we all went to see Planet of the Apes in a black neighborhood, an experience I highly recommend. Really? And all these fucking people started calling me a racist. I mean, dozens of Twitter people, dude, I didn't know you were racist. Fuck you. Like, black people were saying fuck you. I'm like, listen, man, I am saying it was a positive experience. Yeah, I said I highly recommend it. And it was a black neighborhood. And
yeah.
I'll let you go first on this.
What?
I'll let you go first on this.
Well, Joe, you had a good experience. The second part was, yeah, I had a good experience. Yeah, it's just a black neighborhood, but you came from a racist perspective by saying Planet of the Apes. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. But this is a while ago. It's obviously, because he had hair there. It's obviously old, but what he said was—
that was one of like the earliest episodes of his podcast.
Yeah, that's early. So how many years ago was that? How long has Joe Rogan's podcast been on?
7 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, probably about that. So this is probably like 2010-ish.
Ooh, that's about a good 11, 12 years ago. So,
and at the time, no one was listening. I mean, just a couple people.
I believe that everybody has a time to redeem themselves, and just watching Joe's growth, he's had all kinds of people on his show. Black, everybody comes on his show. Mike Tyson, if Mike Tyson came up to him and said, you better apologize, he would. Mike, but I think he's come full circle, because I see him talk about spirituality and shit like that, stuff that he doesn't co-sign on. Listen, Joe Biden has a record of locking. He has some footage of him saying, we need to lock these animals up.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, everybody has a time to redeem themselves. This is me talking, not like some sellout motherfucker. No, I would rather see somebody go, yeah, I did that shit. That's obvious, but I don't do that shit anymore. If you're working to not be that person and you're making up for it on some real, I'm talking about real spiritual growth and I'm down with that shit. I think they're doing that because they pulled that out before. There's something he did that they're trying to use against him.
He's too powerful. He's too powerful. That's why he has a big platform.
Right. And then what he said about the vaccines and all this other shit, I think they're using that as a tool to take him down. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. We're going to see how this shit unravels. But I listen to Joe. He has some great interviews. He interviews a lot of different people. He's a person that's always trying to learn. I mean, he looks like a douchebag, but I don't think he's that dude anymore.
I look like a douchebag.
Yeah, I do too. And if anybody's watching this podcast and taking it and not understanding what I'm saying, I'm sorry for you. You need to, I don't know, get smarter. But this is not about, no, what's wrong with Joe Rogan? No. What is Joe Rogan doing to be better? Because that was in 2010. What is he doing to be a better person? Watch his track record after that. Is he going to address this shit? Let's see if he addresses it. Rogan is a guy that doesn't hide anything. He talks straightforward. So we'll see. If he doesn't, he goes, I don't give a fuck, then I will look at him differently and go, well, fuck that dude, But I really believe this, that he's a person that always learns and tries to improve himself. He has kids. I've seen him like react to certain racist shit, and he goes, I'm not down with that shit. You can be better. There are people who are trying to better themselves. Are you going to be a better? That's all I care about. Everybody has a time to redeem himself.
Well, flip it real quick. Where you stand with Whoopi?
Whoopi should not have been suspended. First off, what the fuck was that? I understand what she was saying, but she said it wrong. She fucked up. Because if Hitler said the Jews are an inferior race, it was a racial thing, and she fucked up on that.
Because he was trying to create the master race.
Yeah, but Whoopi said, well, there were white people oppressing white people. He said those Jewish people were white and Hitler's white. And I think Hitler was half Jewish. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was half Jewish, so he hated himself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Whoopi was like, it's not a racial thing, because I think she was saying it's not black and white, because our shit is black and white. Like, these are darker people, these are white people. But she goes, they're both white. Both of the people are white, you know? And so Joy Behar's like, what are you talking about? Joy is Jewish too. Mm-hmm. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, they're both white. They're white-skinned people. Because my thing is this, is that I have Jewish friends. We all have Jewish friends. But I know
I don't.
But I know Jewish friends that have called us niggers. They use the N-word. If my thing is, I don't understand when some Jewish people call us the N-word. You know, they said the Nazis lied. They had issues. Whoopi's quote. Oh, that's what she said. The Nazis lied. Do you want to show that explanation, or if you have footage of it, we can watch it before we get out of here?
Let me see.
Okay. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'll tell you right now, I don't believe in cancel culture. So if you start taking down right and left, you got to let people talk.
But it's called The View.
That was her view.
You can't have one? They should call it The Preview. Watch what you say before you even speak. Welcome to The Preview. I was able to vet what the fuck I'm going to say, so it's going to come out better. I mean, what the fuck? Like, Whoopi meant well. She wasn't trying to be anti-Semitic, dude. It was like, she misspoke, and she should be able to go back on the TV, and, you know, Whoopi's very honest, and go, I'm sorry. I misspoke. And what I was trying to say was, I was trying to say that it wasn't a racial thing, because it was two white people. It wasn't a black and white. It was
pretty good.
So I hate cancel culture, and I was really not being anti-Semitic. It couldn't be anti-Semitic. And you know me, I back up anybody being oppressed. I'm black myself. My last name is Goldberg. God damn it, I changed my name to fucking Goldberg. But they treated her like Karen Johnson, because her real name is Karen Johnson. So they treated her like Karen Johnson. And her last name is Goldberg, and that didn't work. So they don't even respect you, a black person having a Jewish last name. They're like, nah, we're going to cancel this black bitch. So you're Karen Johnson to us right now, Whoopi.
I want to know who's watching The View for their news. Like, who's watching that on purpose?
Yeah, here we go. On today's show, oh, you don't have the visual, huh?
Yeah, but you want me to read this?
Yeah. On today's show, I said the Holocaust is not about race, but about man's inhumanity to man. I should have said it was both. Yeah, that was her retort. I get it. Listen, she said the Holocaust was about the Nazis. Of course, it was a horrible thing. We all know it. First of all, the Jewish community lets us know about the Holocaust. They have documentaries all the time, the whole nine, you know. And when it comes to the Holocaust, I think people should just shut the fuck up if they're not Jewish. Just don't say anything about it. Just keep your mouth shut, because they're going to get sensitive. They're going to get sensitive. You can't talk about it. Don't talk about that shit. But my thing is, I want people to have the same energy when it's our turn. Whenever it's black people, slavery, everybody wants us to forget it. But, you know, everybody else's atrocities, no one gets to forget it. But ours, everybody wants us to move on and then continue treating us like shit. So my thing is, anybody who's oppressed, please stop calling us niggers. Anybody who's oppressed, I don't understand the people who've been oppressed and been through things are always shitting on black people a lot of times. Not all Godfrey, of you.
That's fair. That's fair. Go ahead.
Don't. I know some people from all these oppressed communities that hate black people, and I don't get it. I go, but you were oppressed. Why are you treating us like shit? And they do that all the time, and I don't get it. Have that same energy for us when we're complaining about our shit. Have that same energy. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Have that same energy for black people, but nobody seems to do that. But we're supposed to respect everybody else's shit, but no one respects ours, which I'm getting sick of. So, but Whoopi should not have been suspended. She should be apologizing on the show. Like, hey, I fucked up, my fault, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to the Holocaust, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about it anymore. You know, don't talk about it anymore. Don't say anything about that. Let them talk about it. Don't bring it up. Shit.
Hey, Godfrey, when you were in college, did you have the African necklace?
You damn right, with the African leather, with the African medallion. Fuck yeah. Public Enemy. Get the fuck out my dorm, white boy. Yeah. Yeah. Fight the power. Well, this has been a great episode, Chad.
Fun.
Thank you for coming for Black History Month. I wanted to let people know about Chad, that Chad's a real guy, because I do a Dunkin' Donuts joke with you in it. I use you in my jokes and shit, and you're a real person.
Yeah. I want to make this a yearly tradition. I come on Black History Month. Yeah,
I think that you should start off for February. Fuck yeah. This is awesome. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
Well, thank you for having me. I love talking to you. It's always a podcast when we're talking on the phone or whatever.
No doubt.
But my Instagram is Chad Zumock, Zumock, and I have a YouTube. You can hit subscribe. It's Sit Down Zumock, Zumock. That's all I'm going to ask from your fans. That's it. You can just follow me there, and I post shows.
Where are you going to be at? You going to be anywhere soon?
You know what's funny? I looked on my Instagram memories or whatever. Last year at this time, we were in Naples at Off the Hook.
Wow.
That's how far back. Yeah, last year.
Look at that. And they didn't have mask on. They were like, fuck the fucking COVID.
Yeah.
They were tonguing each other, licking each other's skin. It was amazing. That was a fun time. You were a little, but okay.
Yeah, but well, we learned. Yeah. We learned.
Lessons. We all have a chance for redemption. As long as you're working on yourself, it's all good. Guys, like I said before, subscribe to the Gas Digital. Very important. Subscribe to the podcast. We're on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Why isn't Lewis putting you on Skankfest? Why don't you do Skankfest?
I got invited to Skankfest again.
Okay.
I get invited. It's just a matter of my schedule, but I get invited. I think I'm going to come to one of them. If I have time.
It's unbelievable. You'll love it.
I heard. And by the way, you guys, if you're in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta. I got 2 shows tonight. 2 shows tonight at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. And I have 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday. I'm in Atlanta. Then next week, I'm in, where is it? Yeah, at the Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia. The Richmond, Virginia Funny Bone, February 10th through the 13th. Then I'm at the Blue Room Comedy Club. Comedy Club in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri. In Springfield, Missouri the following week. You guys come and check me out. I think it's the 16th through the 18th. Is Blue Room Comedy Club. Never been there before.
I heard it's nice.
Springfield, Missouri. If you're close by, come through, guys. Come through and check me out. And also Dayton, Ohio Funny Bone, which is the 26th and 27th, the 25th, 26th, just 2 days. Dayton, Ohio Funny Bone.
You remember last time we were there? We went to Chappelle's house?
Yeah, you remember that?
Oh, I'm your witness.
You're the witness. You drove us there.
Yeah.
Podcast merch.
Godfrey, I was always jealous of you.
Yep, you were there. Podcastmerch.com. We got t-shirts, dope ass t-shirts.
Those are cool.
We got tank tops, we got hats, we got sweatshirts, extra small, XXX. We got, and Godfrey We Trust. That's fire, dude. I like that Tribe Called Quest looking shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh shit. I gotta get me some of this fucking
get your own gear.
Merch. It's so dope. We Godfrey We Trust. That's fantastic. Guys, buy some of that stuff. Become part of the family. And I have my Night Owl, Godfrey the Night Owl t-shirts that I'm selling since created from the pandemic. You can go to thesilverroom.com, and type in Godfrey. We're selling those t-shirts, the Godfrey and the Night Owl t-shirts. Also, follow me on Instagram, Comedian Godfrey. And also download Fanbase, which is a platform created by Isaac Hayes' son, Isaac Hayes Jr., Isaac Hayes III, I'm sorry. And it's mainly geared towards African Americans, like the IG for African Americans, because IG has a habit of canceling a lot of Black creators, which is very, very strange. But Fanbase is the way to go also, just to let you guys know that. All right, man. This was awesome. You my man, dude. You my dude. Love you to death there, Brad. Chad. I say bro Brad. I go bro Brad. Chad Zumock in the building, bitches.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Yo, peace, man. We out of this motherfucker. Ah!